let's look at some of the things you can do with text. So what we've got here is a nice little simple list. Now in normal Excel, this here wouldn't be a problem. I've got JHB in various ways. Notice that's all uppercase, that's all lowercase. So in traditional Excel, no problem. I could easily remove duplicates. Casing doesn't matter. But PowerQuery is not quite the same. These two items would be seen as totally different items because that's all uppercase, that's all lowercase. So let's just see what we can do. We're going to go to data from table or range. And we've got it in here. Now any item, if you click the column, you have access under the transform ribbon to a whole bunch of things you can do with it. So splitting columns we'll look at later. But if you click on format, you'll notice that you've got a whole bunch of options. So for example, do you want that whole column to become lowercase or uppercase or capitalize each word? So if you're ever going to try and find duplicates here, it would be a good idea first to make them all the same. So let's say we're going to make them uppercase. I click on it. You'll see they all become uppercase. And notice it's part of our steps. Notice that at this point you can also do trimming. So if you've got spaces that are going to appear, you can trim, you can clean the data as well. You can then also do things like add a prefix or a suffix. So if you looked here, the data we're getting is going to come through with 1, 2, 3. But actually, the original source, we actually needed 2 zeros in front of the 1. So what I could do is highlight that. And you'll see under the format, I can either say add a prefix, something before, or suffix, something after. So I'm going to say prefix. And all it wants to know is what must it put in front. So I'm going to put 0, 0. And when I say OK, you'll see it now converts that into text and puts 2 zeros in front of everything. Just some other things you can do. For example, you'll see there's an item here called extract. So do you need to get out of that column the length of each item? Or maybe you just want the first 3 characters. So you'll see when I go to extract and I say first characters, it asks how many. I'm going to put a 3 for example. And when I say OK, you'll see it only shows the first 3 characters. And again, it's now one of the steps. Extracted the first characters. If you've made a mistake, remember you can either fix it in the formula bar or go and click on the little settings icon and now change your mind. Maybe it's only 2 characters. You'll see there's some more advanced stuff, parsing via XML or JSON files. But just looking at the extract, one of the other options you can do is to choose a range. So range, the first character starts at the left, last character starts at the right, range starts somewhere in between. So I'm just going to get rid of this. So we're back to 5 characters, and I'm going to say I want to pull out the middle 3 characters. So the starting index, let's see how this works. I think we should start at character number 2, and we're going to do 3 characters. Let's just look at it carefully. So I expect this to say 3, 5, 6. When I say OK, oops, can you see it's saying 5, 6, 7? So this is one of the areas where PowerQuery differs. So let's just go back into that. Remember, PowerQuery for some reason starts counting at 0. So when I actually went and I counted, I'm just going to cancel. I'm going to go and do the range. I counted and I said 1, 2, started character 2. Reality, it's 0, 1. So start at 1, character 1, which is actually the second character, and pull out the next 3 characters. When I say OK, you'll see it's now pulling out what we want. So just don't forget that PowerQuery starts counting at 0, not at 1. But those are some of the things you can do with regards to text columns.